So, Peter, have we been making progress on this issue over in the UK?
It's taken a long time to get this far, it has to be said. The referendum was held in June of last year, and here we are. And a lot of people talk about a year being lost, and we triggered finally the 2-year Article 50 process to withdraw from the European Union back in March. It's been a bit slow. Theresa May's speech in Florence last week, lots of jokes in the British press about why Florence, home of Machiavelli, you know, what's all this about, was designed to, I think, reset a little bit the tone, which it did, and to offer a certain amount on content, which it did, but of course not enough for what a lot of other Europeans and a lot of, if you like, Brexit skeptics think are necessary to make a success of this negotiation. But when Barnier and David Davis meet today, I think there will be a better tone, and there's a bit of luck. People will start to respond to some of the content that Theresa May put on the table. A better
tone with Barnier. Is there a better tone within her cabinet? Senior members of her cabinet sit in front row for that speech, and I think of Chancellor Hammond and Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson, and wonder whether both of them walked away happy with that speech.
During the cabinet meeting just before that speech, Boris Johnson and Chancellor Hammond walked out almost hand in hand from number 10 for what looked like a slightly choreographed show of unity. The British newspapers this weekend have been full of stories of everybody on manoeuvres, both to stab each other in the back and in order to prepare for the succession to Theresa May. It's not a message that sounds like unity. I think Philip Hammond, on the substance of it, will be broadly content in that people are now moving towards what he has been pushing for, which is a transitional arrangement for a few years, which minimises the cliff edge risk. Boris Johnson claims that he was about to walk out and resign had he not been able to shorten the period of that period of transition. Who knows what to believe? A lot of this is mixed up with personal ambition, not a lot of principle in there. So I don't know, but I think the Hammond camp, if you like, if there is such a thing, will feel that at least there's now a pragmatic approach and a better tone and less threatening language than we were getting from Theresa May in her Lancaster House speech earlier in the year.
Was it a better tone in large part because really the Prime Minister conceded on most of the big points? They're going to pay money. We'll talk about how much. They're going to pay a fair amount of money. They're going to allow the European Court of Justice to at least have a role in deciding things, if not direct jurisdiction. Has she basically capitulated?
And she's begun to move a little bit on a fundamental question, which is the rights of EU citizens living in the UK without whom the UK services industries cannot function. So she has moved on a number of these things.